Welcome to 20 Years of Icelantic, a podcast miniseries where we bring together the people who built this brand to share the stories, memories, and moments that shaped the last 2 decades. In episode 2, we're back with the original founding four, Travis Parr, Annelise Loevlie, Ben Anderson, and Travis Cook, as they dive into how they began to truly build and scale the business beyond the garage.
So from the brain, do you feel like the SA and the first ISPO is kind of like the first, this is stepping
Yeah,
into
for
what
sure.
you see as a brand? And can we talk about that experience?
Yeah, I mean, going to the first SA, that was the launch, you know.
And what is SA?
that was-
So we were getting ready to go to the SA trade show. It's like the Sport Industry America trade show. So it was
Snow
the biggest, snow sports trade show, in North America, and it was in Vegas. So like, okay, this is the spot. This is where we launch the brand. This is where we take all these concepts and release them to the market. And that was a hell of an experience, to say the least. I mean, I chimed in a little bit on the, just the catalogs, but just the prep to get there was just wild, from the first of just like conceptualize, we got to build a booth, So that was the first thing, and I think the number one objective with that first booth was this thing cannot fall down, And boy, it didn't. We could barely pick it up. I mean, we designed it was just a 20 by 10 booth, and we decided to put a teepee in it for the meetings. The teepee was going to be the spot.
We made all the money.
Yeah, where we made all
With
the
our
money.
ream
This is where all
of
the
order
deals
forms.
happen. This is where the deals happen. All in the teepee. And Parr, you painted the teepee, but I mean, just building
4
the booth.
huge logs as the 4 posts.
Yep,
Yep.
the 20 by 10, we framed it up like a house. It was like framing around, and then the 4 corners, it was a 2 by 2 foot steel plate that we had Rothy's dad like weld us these stands, because we got 12-foot long, 12-inch diameter, 12-foot long logs as the 4 posts, the 4 corners of this booth. And with these steel stands that were heavier than the logs, what I mean? I'll never forget picking up the steel down at the steel yard in Denver, and we go up and this big guy goes to load up the car. He's like, "You need some help?" We're like, "Sure." And he goes over. It's just a little stack of steel, 4 pieces, and he goes up and just picks one of them up and is like, lifts it up like, "Oh my gosh, how heavy are these things?" So yeah, we got that thing built. I remember bucking the logs with you. We were both sick.
Yeah.
We're just bucking those logs, and we got the brand.
Yeah, I would say that the booth at the trade show really encapsulated our ethos of Icelantic. I mean, we had raw wood and teepees and just huge oversized art
Jelly
prints.
bellies.
And yeah, it's just, wow, thinking about it, it's wild. And then we had to drive it all out there.
In the back of pickup trucks and Outbacks.
Yes.
And we had I grew up going to trade shows, and so I was very ready to be business oriented. And I was we had a ream of order forms that we thght we were going to
ream.
write. Oh yeah, like a ream. No, we had a box.
A full box.
Yeah. So I remember being I remember kind of training you guys, get everybody's business card and put them in here, and we got to
Yes.
follow up when we're done, and this is how we do trade shows. And literally everybody that came by the booth either thought we were selling a teepee or they laughed at the scout. Literally, they were like, "Are you fucking serious?"
We were selling them
Yeah.
what's it called?
Oh yeah, in Vegas,
the hookers,
the stripper cards.
The stripper cards.
Yeah. Or surfing
Everyone
them
stopped
in the
down
aisle.
their tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anna, was the trade show kind of your entrance to Icelantic, do you feel?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I was, talking with Ben all throughout college, and then after college, I went to ski for a year in Steamboat, and that's kind of when Ben called and asked if I would help him kind of get the business running. And I remember when I was in Steamboat, I was calling Powder Magazine, Free Skier Magazine, all the magazines, just trying to get placements or ads or, write-ups on that. And then we moved to Idaho Springs for a few months for the office there. But yeah, I'd say SA.
Because was that first SA, was that when you were in Steamboat?
Mm-hmm.
Did you come from
Yeah,
Steamboat to
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, we had all hands on deck. Every friend that we had, every friend's friend that they had,
It literally
helped us
we had like
get this
40
shit to Vegas.
people.
Yeah, we loaded up the Tacomas.
A lot of people that just wanted to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, totally.
That's pretty much everybody except for this
Yeah.
guy. That first year,
know, and me too.
I was really the only person at the booth before noon. Every morning, just go there, just haggard. Check out our skis. I remember one day I made a sign that just said, "I had to get breakfast. Please take a catalog." Just put it on the podium and left for about an hour. Came back, no one was there yet.
I know. Thinking in hindsight, how many teepees we could have sold at this trade show. Could have
Hand-painted.
Hand-painted.
cash flowed our business a little bit at the very beginning. We should have just said yes, yes, yes.
Just
Yeah,
add a
we
In
color
hindsight,
waterfront.
yes. But
Yeah.
we can get these teepees for you.
Yeah, custom
good call.
painted.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I would say the majority of people, maybe not the majority, but really close to the majority, thought we were selling teepees.
Oh, yeah.
It was the
they
prominent display at the booth. It was definitely the prominent display. And then Monty started getting their attention. We just had Monty out in the middle of the aisle with the scout, just
Yeah.
told him, try to break it. And he's just jumping on this thing, doing it, running, sliding on it. People are like, what is this? It's our one pair of samples, We definitely made an impression there.
We did.
But we didn't write a single order. I
No,
remember that. Yeah.
Not one.
That was tough.
That was tough. Literally,
That was tough.
we did not write a single order in Vegas. We didn't make any deals in the teepee, We just did shots of tequila. in the teepee.
Yeah.
We got a couple of really big buyers in the teepee drinking tequila. But
Oh
they-
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, who were some? I mean,
We stick
Well,
to
Gorsuch.
well, that was at the local show.
Oh,
so
okay.
that was phase 2 of our first year. Was the we took our booth, had a
had a
completely
Denver.
unsuccessful SIA, though it did make our impact in the industry. People knew we were there. It was
Yeah,
a new
we were-
brand.
we were
for
disruptor.
Sure. We were definitely disruptor.
Yeah.
So the next one was the local show here in Denver, the WWSRA one. And we, personally, I thought it was just gonna be like another Vegas, like a mini Vegas with cool booths and everything. So we brought the same booth down to Denver. And we went in there and set up the teepee and set up this whole booth with all the reps sitting at their 10 by 10, grate with their product and their table. And they're like, what is this? You guys have a full teepee here? And we got Gorsuch that first year. They stopped by the booth like, this is impressive.
High quality.
High quality, bought skis that we couldn't even deliver.
Nope.
And so, that was the problem. That was the problem with the orders that we did get at WWSRA is we weren't really able to deliver any the following year. Oh my gosh.
And we were selling one ski.
Yeah, just the Scout.
Just the Scout.
Just the
That's
Scout.
all we had.
143.
With crazy
105,
graphic. Yeah.
Wonder and structure.
Was
I wonder if that's gonna work.
Was a part of the maybe I don't know another word other than failure of the essay. Did that prompt you to expand what kind of skis you were making?
We had been designing them.
We'd
They
been
just weren't
brainstorming
ready. We had been we were in the process of having the Nomad Pilgrim Shaman designed, but we weren't. I think we were pretty head set on that year as our launch.
And can you describe the
2005.
Scout? Because I think that's a pretty
Scout Stout.
interesting
Yeah.
beginning.
It's a great call.
Oh man. We
Sell
need
us
to,
the Scout,
that,
Ben.
Speaking of one other thing, we need to bring that video back, our entry to ISPO. But the Scout was really just the whole concept of focusing on the surface area of the ski. So it was at that time, skis were just skinny and long. They were 190 and 60 underfoot, long, skinny skis. So I was like, let's just condense it, and we're going to make just as much surface area as, I don't know what we were claiming, a 200 or something.
Yeah, 210
Just
or
as
something.
much surface area as a 200 condensed in this small package. So you're able to float and, we said that it had the stability.
Highly maneuverable.
Yeah,
Highly
highly maneuverable.
maneuverable.
Yep. Which
know?
it was.
It was.
yeah, it
it was. And yeah, so it was really just this like, what would I say? Like
Super serious king.
super serious king. You know, but there was a lead up to it, whatever it was. But
You can throw them in the
you
trunk.
can throw them
yeah.
in the trunk. Yeah. So yeah, it was really just that concept of this, you know, new perspective of ski shape, you know,
Yep.
at that time. And then, you know, then following it up with this, you know, regional concept of, you know, the Pilgrim, East Coast, Carver, the Nomad, the Versatile, you know, Rockies, and then the Shaman, West Coast, fat, you know, super fat. So yeah, I mean, gosh, what am I trying to say? You know, I actually just want to chime right back into one other memory from that trade show with leaving WWSA, because that one was successful. It was like, oh my gosh, you guys, we got orders at a trade show. People
Yep.
like I read Bentgate. I think Bentgate was the first one. Gorsuch, someone else. I can't remember like what other shops we got, but we got like 4 or 5 orders at the local show, and it was like, this is awesome. We got orders
Here
and
we
we got
go.
good stuff made.
We're a
But
business.
we broke down the booth, loaded up your truck, and driving the truck back from the convention center in Denver, get on 6th Avenue, and we had to go by Reed Photography to get on, you know, I bet we were taking photos of the, or I don't know. We had to go to Reed Photography to check on some art stuff. And I'll never forget, I get off I-70, or I get off 6th Avenue onto Federal, and I'm cruising down Federal, and all of a sudden it's just like a dunk, 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 and I like look in the rearview mirror, and one of our 12-foot long logs had fallen out of the truck and is literally like bouncing down Federal, and I'm like, oh shit, you know? Pull this thing over, there's a bum right there. I literally like give him $20. We go out there, pick this thing up, wedge it back into the truck. I mean, the fact that we didn't kill anybody is crazy. Yeah. I mean, the timing couldn't have been better or worse. But it was insane. That's when we realized the next year was like, we need to make a new booth too. Oh, man.
Was it after that trade show that was ISPO the next big step?
Yes. Because that was...
Isn't ISPO the
following
next year?
Yeah, that's when we were developing.
But we got invited.
Yes,
She
at,
came to our
at
booth.
SIA.
So I guess, during that first year of SAA is when this representative from ISPO came over and invited us to
apply
apply for the ISPO Brand New Awards, it was called. And they had a winter hard good of the year, a summer hard good of the year, a fashion, and an accessory award. And it had to be, there are some requirements, you know, like your first 5 years in business, you know, creative designs. I can't remember, there's some different parameters in which we had to apply. So she gave us her information, said, you guys, you know, whatever you're doing here, you should apply, you know?
Don't know what it is.
So
but
that off season is when we put together the video that showcased the whole collection. You know, this concept of the Scout, Pilgrim, Nomad, Shaman, regional, art-driven. You know, just we really created that video that you did, Mark.
Yeah.
How old were you at the time?
high school.
Yeah.
15.
High school
Yeah.
So
project.
15-year-old Mark made an award-winning video. And that video is hilarious.
It is
I mean,
hilarious.
I just picture the Germans watching that video. Oh my! You know, the German judges watching that
Mind-blowing.
Is it the
video.
one that you were dressed up like the scientist?
The scientist.
yeah.
Yeah, I dressed up
It's
like
like
the
the
scientist.
video.
I'm like, come on down to the lab, and I can't remember. Like, we will definitely pull this video out this year
God,
to
it's
share with
good.
the people because it is gold. But it really just like, you know, gave us that opportunity to showcase what we were doing, and we sent it in, filled out the little, you know, application, and a couple months later we got the call saying that we had won this award. And I mean, it was a competitive thing. I mean, I can't remember exactly how many, but it was like,
Wow.
you know, over 100 companies from, you know, over 100 countries. You know, it was like a
over-
crazy amount of like, you know, people applying for this, and we won it. So that next year we want to
And they paid for us to go.
totally paid
Yeah.
for us to go, gave us a free trade show booth, and we really got to go and showcase the product for the year to the rest of the world.
And you showed little Mark the world.
Yeah, we did.
And that's when we blossomed overseas.
What was that experience like though? Did that feel like a big step for the business?
Oh man.
For me, it did.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
me too.
it was international recognition, and yeah, I mean, looking back at it, almost was a curse. You know, it was like, whoa, like we were just really trying to focus on the States, and then having this huge world exposure, it was like, we need to scale this thing up quick if it's gonna be global.
Yeah, we are going global.
Yeah.
Year
Yeah,
1 done again.
yeah, that's what it was.
Year 1, round 2.
Yep, yeah, exactly. And didn't we fly straight from Vegas to Germany?
Yeah,
We did.
that was the
Yeah,
other thing.
oof,
I
that
mean,
was
just
intense.
getting ready for those trade shows was so intense. You know, we designed and we built the booths ourselves. So I mean, rolling into Vegas or any of these spots with the unions, just rolling in with our skateboards and logs,
Getting chased by
getting
Freeman
chased
Union.
by people were just like, no, we're like, we're not stopping, you know, just running, loading stuff up.
Renegade.
But it was just a very exhausting span of like preparing to go to the trade show, working this trade show in Vegas, trying to sell and just be in Vegas, and then flying straight from Vegas to our first European adventure.
Well, and it was cool. Like ISPO is the largest sporting trade show in the world,
Yeah.
and we were especially on display because we had won this hard goods award, and so we were in the coolest hall. Like it was, you know, just all sorts of amazing brands. This trade show is enormous, but our hall probably got like the most traffic just because of where we were. And so I do think it was a very like solidifying, validating experience for us because we were just being reflected, you know, by people from all over the world. They'd come, we'd tell our story, they'd react, and it was just like, you know, it was like, okay.
Do you know Wonder? Do you know Structure?
You know ski?
You know me!
Yeah.
Well, and I remember I had a really good opportunity. We were cruising right before the show opened, and they had this French gallery had all these artists come in and do like live painting and things during the trade show. It was a really cool trade show, and I remember like taking a card or something and calling Jerome up that night. I was like, "Is there any way that I could just come and paint at your booth so I don't have to sit at our booth and try to do business? I just want to paint here, you know?" He's like, "Yeah, come on down." And just some of the relationships we created over.
Well, I mean, little do we know, it really turned into one of, if not the best adventures of our lives. I mean, we ended up going, you know, we decided, we were like, we're going to Europe, so let's stay for a while. So we ended up staying for about a month over there, and just, I mean, it really started with getting busted at customs. You know, we ended up going to this trade show. They gave us a booth and everything, but we decided to bring everything else, kind of overdoing it again. We didn't bring the teepee, but we rolled into
all the
ISPO.
original artwork.
Yeah, all the original paintings, like in this like custom-made crate that looked very sketchy for customs. You know, we had bags of demo skis to ski on. We had show samples. And this was before like legit roller bags. I remember I was rolling around in with huge duffels, dragging bags of this stuff all around. And we show up straight from Vegas, landed in Munich, and like I remember coming on the plane, we're just delirious, like what's going on? Get all of our stuff, and we just go walking out of the airport, or we thought we were. Nothing to declare. They see us rolling around with this huge mound of gear, so they're like, pull them aside, and they start going through our stuff, and they're like, oh my gosh, what did you do? We're like, we won an award. We're going to ISPO. We're, you know, this is what we do. We're so excited. And they're like, well, that's illegal, you know? So they started interrogating us. They pulled me into a back room, and they were just interrogating me on all this stuff. And I was just so naive. I'm like, yeah, these are just samples. They're like, do they come back? I'm like, yeah, they come back, and blah, blah, blah. Long story short is we got fined big time. Like they charged us the duties on the retail value of the skis, not the cost, the retail value. We had to pay like a 3,500 euro fine for just crossing that green nothing to declare sign. Yeah. And I mean, it really made us broke day one. You know, like from that time we were like,
we
okay,
all
there
gave
goes
money.
all of our money to pay these fees, you know. So, I mean, and then we show up at the trade show and we walk into that hall, and I mean, it was massive. It was, I mean, how much bigger than SA? 5 times?
Like,
at least?
At least.
5 to 10 times larger than SIA. I was like, this is nuts. Like full halls of, figure skating and whatever. It was just insane. So yeah, go set up that booth and get ready to show the rest of the world. I remember, being the leader of this group, I had the opportunity to get up on stage to accept the award, and that was a heck of an experience. Talk about humbling.
Remember that, Mark?
I don't think Mom has ever been more disappointed in me.
I think I filmed it.
So
and
awkward.
I think I stopped filming.
Oh my gosh.
Here goes Ben, the charismatic salesman.
Well, I was so nervous for this because there was a couple things. They said, since we're projecting this to the rest of the world, we need to translate it. So you need to come up with here's the questions we're going to ask you. How are you going to answer? I'm so I'm taking all of our deep concepts that have been created in the brain and getting ready to project them to the rest of the world. And I got up there to accept this world, and I had literally come off of a month, whatever, straight from Vegas, straight there. And the jet lag hit me like a ton of bricks, and I got up there on stage and accepted this award and just started
So funny.
babbling. I'm talking about
Surface
wonder and
diameter.
structure and surface diameter, making no sense. And the poor guy's standing there okay. I got off stage, I was just oh man, I did not represent the brand
How do you
well.
think it went,
How
guys?
do you think it went? It couldn't have gone worse. I made 0 sense. And they're looking at
Hands
these
in pockets.
crazy
you have the
skis,
award.
backwards hat,
Oh, man.
just not looking like a professional in this industry.
So funny.
And I remember too, the next day there was another experience, was kind of a press conference type thing where you got to go and sit with a bunch of the press and ask questions. And at that point I was on it. And I was just finding all the representatives from ISPO were just coming up to me great job today. You did amazing. I'm I'm not normally like this as yesterday, Oh my gosh.
That was funny.
So yeah, we got through that trade show all right.
And we got a lot of orders.
We did.
Yeah.
We
opened Norway, Russia, Germany, France,
I think Japan at that time.
Japan.
Yeah, so we got distributors.
Yeah, we got a lot of
It was
distributors.
wild, and that's where it
That
was
was for sure big.
yeah, it's oh my gosh, we're selling more skis overseas than in America at that time. I was this is crazy that it just propelled us to that level. And then we went and just decompressed in Cloisters. It was after we also had to pay a little bit more money in Munich
No,
too.
they didn't charge us.
No, we got out.
Oh, you didn't get
We
charged.
talked our way out of jail. That
Yeah,
night.
we had one other little mishap in Munich as well, and with these two.
We were the victim police sting operation.
We were.
were.
Thank you. Thank you, Trivy. That's how I would put it as well.
It was just, we were just getting ready to go to dinner one of the nights through downtown Munich.
And then we just disappear.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get to the restaurant and we're sitting there. It was Casey and Ann and I, and we're sitting there and we're
Where'd
where'd Trivy and Parr go? I thought they were right with us. Not there, not at dinner. We eat dinner, not there. We get back to the hotel, not there. We're where are
We're
these
leaving.
guys?
Yeah, we're leaving that morning, early that
Oh
morning.
yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah, we were,
leaving the next
leaving.
morning. I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
So we're leaving the next morning, and the next thing you know, I don't know what time you rolled in. Middle of the night sometime.
4 a.m. It was light out.
Yeah,
It was morning. Yeah, so they did.
Because we had when we got out, we went and had a beer at this little cafe. Just
We split the beer because we didn't have
enough money for 2 beers.
we didn't have enough money for 2 beers. But
So we're dead broke. Let's go to Switzerland.
Yeah, let's go to Switzerland.
no, totally.
Oh my God.
Taste of freedom.
Taste of
We've all had our
freedom.
taste of freedom.
Yep. So yeah, these guys got popped, Brian, trying to buy some weed in Germany.
Yep.
No, I like your story better.
Well, it's,
Yeah, it was a
It was-
police
it
that
was
is
a
what
sting
it was.
It was a
sting
sting
for sure.
They were
operation.
trying to sell us hard drugs, and
Yeah.
we were like, no way. We just want that little dime bag. And I have to say, for Parr, because you're like, I'm going to go on a mission tonight, and if I give you the look, you got to come with me. I said, all right, I'm with you. So we did it. It was feeling shady. And then, but the little dime bag was in my pocket, and the cop knew exactly where it was.
Ugh.
He just pulled it out, threw me in cuffs. started walking me. But Parr, you were chasing after this Munich police, going, "Arrest me too!"
No, I was like, that's my friend.
With you.
That's my friend. You can't take me. You can't take him.
Finally, the cop's like, "All right."
Oh my God.
Drags us
Yeah, I'm
both
like, you're not going alone.
to a full-blown strip search with an AK-47 pointed at us.
Are you serious?
I didn't hear that part.
True story. Yeah, it was
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Wow.
Luckily, they got out.
and we got pictures,
Yeah, and you got
Oh
pictures
my
in jail.
God.
and they let us out. They felt bad for us, didn't charge us.
Casey was so
And then
worked
Casey
up.
Boone almost killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He almost choked me out in his tidy whities.
That night.
You guys got back like,
Oh man.
we got arrested. Yeah,
He was just like,
no, you did
No, you did.
No, you didn't. He was so pissed.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh my gosh.
So, but we showed him
Take
the
me
receipt
too.
because, of course, you get a receipt
Yeah.
in Germany when
Yeah.
you get arrested.
Yeah, you get a receipt.
Oh my God.
And then off to Switzerland.
And off to Switzerland. Oh my gosh.
So at the end of ISPO, would you say that that's sort of the real launch? That was like the beginning of you all really, you're
Yeah,
in
that
business.
SAA and
The
that, you know,
legitimacy.
that's when Never Summer was making skis. You know, like we were Never Summer was in and we were ready to go.
Amazing. Well, with that, is there anything in this first era that you feel like we're missing?
Well, I want to continue this Europe story.
Oh, there's more to it.
Oh, there's a lot. Well, there's some more. Like
there
we
is-
should, yeah.
It is. It's full of stories, but we also need to be
I know,
conscious of
but
time.
I think we should just capture that.
Oh,
At least
for
going to
sure.
the Olympics.
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like we were hugging the parents of the silver medalist.
Definitely.
I don't know. I think just wrapping up this ISPO trip,
Sure.
and then I think it's good. But yeah,
Yeah,
You've
we
been
went
to
to
Switzerland.
yeah, we
Oh,
went
yeah.
to Cloisters, to Bill's.
Some good family friends.
Yeah.
We got to
decompress.
eat well, decompress,
Oh.
Smoke a lot of ciggies.
ski, smoked a lot of ciggies because Bill was buying them.
Packs.
Packs.
Packs of American Spirit.
He was mine.
Oh, and skiing.
Yeah, you're
But just
like-
to be
sorry,
with
yeah.
a kind of plugged into a local group of skiers and families and things in one of the most beautiful little valleys in the Alps
Oh.
was
And
great.
that was my first time skiing the Alps.
Me too.
Was it yours?
and we
Was it yours?
really put
It
in
might
some
have been,
vertical
yeah.
feet. I mean,
Oh
we skied
man,
hard.
So hard.
skied
So,
so
that
hard.
kind of like rekindled, I think, our energy a lot. Is just being like, oh right, that's why we're doing this.
This is what we're
because
doing.
this is
Oh.
so fun.
yeah.
Agree.
And it was dumping that whole time, and we stayed in Cloisters for at least a week.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just skiing pow and just relax
Spa,
and eat good food. Yeah, the
spawing.
spa. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I remember Bill was just like, "Don't you guys think you should be out there like talking to the shops and sell?" And we're like, "We need a minute, Bill. we will be back to doing that, but we need a minute."
Yeah.
But then from there, we ended up going to your cousin's wedding in
Oh,
Zurich.
Zermatt.
Or Zermatt. Zermatt.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Big, big difference. Pretty big difference.
Yep. And the wedding sounded lovely. Parr and I weren't invited. We were walking around Zermatt that night with €7 to our name, I think.
Yeah,
Oh my God, that's like a
We went and
theme.
we found a €4 or €3, whatever, fixed price meal, and it was in this raclette house.
Raclette.
And we couldn't afford the raclette, obviously. We just got the little bratwurst and the little vegetable broth. But the raclette, the owner of the restaurant took pity on us, and he started sneaking potatoes in our hoods.
Oh, yeah.
And then
At the
afterwards,
base of
and then
Zermatt.
afterwards, he just
Yeah.
led us all around his restaurant, showing us all the old
Yeah.
pictures and just like talking to us nonstop in Swiss German. And yeah, that's my Zermatt experience. Oh,
so
well, we got to go drink a bunch of free sake one night, but
yeah.
Nice. Well, you
Torino
left
was
me
the
on the way.
Left him on the
Because we
yeah,
left,
that's
I think we
right.
went a day early from you guys because there was like something, rehearsal dinner or something. So Anna and I left a day early. And yeah, that was my first Euro experience. I mean, we did England, got lost there too in high school. So we're going across, Switzerland in the trains. And I didn't know how efficient the trains, especially in Switzerland, were. I was just like, you got a couple minutes to get on and keep moving, So we're getting ready for the train. I'm like, I'm gonna run into the store and get a couple snacks, Go in there, get my stuff, chatting it up, whatever. I come out and no one's there. And my huge duffel and ski gear is just sitting there. I'm like,
Oh man.
did I miss the train? Like, oh my God, I missed the train. I'm like, and Anna left me? Parr wouldn't even leave you going to jail. She left me high and driver's
Second
chair.
thought.
I'm like, I'm going to Zermatt.
Oh man.
So
I'm
that
sorry,
train's
Ben.
gone. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, I gotta get there to Zermatt, and like it was across the way because we were gonna take the that one
The Glacier Express.
The Glacier Express, this beautiful train. So I, looking at the spot, I was like, oh my gosh, they have one transfer in this other town. I can't remember where it was. And I had to get a cab and pay this cab to race down the train. And we were hauling to the other village, wherever it was. We go ripping into town. I couldn't get to the train station because there was all this construction. I'm like, just let me off of here. And I have all that stuff, like I said before, roller bags. So I'm just like carrying all my gear just like through this train station. Find the train, I make it, and I get on, and Anna, to her delight, I made it. I was just like, what? You left me? Like, are you kidding me?
I had MJ to contend with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got there, and I mean, being poor, but also getting the experience of the wedding in Zermatt, that was wild. Mm-hmm. Very Swiss.
Very Swiss.
And then the last leg of that trip was going to the Olympics.
Torino.
So like we were there and it was like we need to, like we're in Europe and the Olympics are getting ready to start. And then you had met somebody.
Yeah, I met somebody on the bus from the airport on the way to Munich. And he was like, are you going to Torino after this? I said, I don't know, we might. And he's like, well, if you do, here's my number. I've got a great place you can crash. And then I called him at one point from Switzerland and he's like, okay, you got to go to this church in this little village and call this number. And so that's all that I knew. We didn't have cell phones.
Yeah, this was before cell phones.
We get to this little town, we have all of our stuff. He also said that if you go in this, you can store your gear for the day in this restaurant.
Yep.
So we go in this random restaurant in this little Italian village,
yeah.
and we take it down and pack their pantry with all of our gear. And then we went to some events. And then sure enough, at like 8 o'clock, 9 at night, we get back and we take the bus to this little village with all of our stuff.
Remember, I puked though at a restaurant.
Because we didn't know where we were going or what we were doing.
No, we were so nervous. Like everything's booked. It was the Olympics. There was no place to stay. There was nothing. We had no money. It was like, what are we doing here? We're in this poor lady's restaurant with all of our gear. It's like, well, we should probably eat. Well, oh no, that's what it was. We went to the event earlier, like it was some ski race or something. We just went to where it was and we got that pizza. And I think I ate the egg.
Yep.
And next thing I know, we're like, we need to go. Like we were telling the woman, like, we'll come back and eat dinner. Thank you so much for letting our store our gear there. So we show back up at a restaurant. We had just eaten a bunch of pizza, and we're so nervous. We're sitting there, and it's just like, okay. And she starts getting our orders and all stuff. I remember I was like, I just don't really want cheese and tomatoes. And I ordered some salad or something, and it came out, and it's literally just huge chunks of cheese and tomatoes. It's just like, oh no. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. And I get up and I just go pout. And this is a small restaurant. This is not like a big thing. It's like, it is very intimate. I go running outside, go around the corner, and just throw up. I'm like, oh my gosh, throw up. I come walking back in, and I like open up the door to walk in. That woman's standing right there, and the like warm air hit me, and I'm like, I'm not done. And I like shut the door and go around and throw up again. I'm like, this lady, I felt so bad. So we went in, we finished up dinner, like, we gotta get out of here. And somehow they said, like, go to that church. Like, you gotta get on this bus.
So we got on the bus. It was dumping at that point.
It was like midnight.
Dumping.
Yeah, it was midnight. And so
it was the
the
last
bus lets
stop.
us off, and we're just all sitting in this church courtyard at midnight, and it's dumping.
And there's not a light on in this town. And it was right at the border, too.
Yeah.
It was like the Italian,
Italy.
Swiss-Italian border. So, like, the border's right there, and we're at this church with nothing, no lights in town, and just dumping snow with all of our gear. And we are all just silent. We're just like, we are fucked. Like, where are we staying, We were there for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
30 minutes, and then all of a sudden, you see a light up on the mountain, and we're like, there's a light, Just starts coming down. All of a sudden, this dude rolls up on a snowmobile with like a little sled thing behind it. And he's like fully furred out. I mean, he had this hat. He didn't really say anything. He just like starts grabbing our stuff, loading it on, and we're like, what? And I remember we all like load onto this snowmobile and the thing. We're all just like packed into our gear, like rolling 3 or 4 deep on the back of the sled, and then someone with the gear. And we went back into the mountains for, I don't even know how long.
No words were even exchanged.
No words.
It was
Yeah,
like,
no words were exchanged with this guy.
Yeah.
It was like, ripping on like 1 a.m. way back in the mountains, and we just show up at this house, little lodge up there. And that was it was just so weird. It's like all the lights were out there, and you're like, when did we pass out?
Crawled into a bunk bed and slept for like 10 hours.
Yeah, slept 10 hours.
so wild.
Woke up and it was like, what? Where are we? And then we saw the guy, and he had come through. And that was, and then we just had the best experience at the Olympics. Remember, we met the coach.
Shaun White's coach, I think.
Yeah, it was the
yeah.
TM
That's
for
how we
the
got all
snowboard
the
team.
tickets.
All the tickets, yeah.
That's how we got the tickets, exactly. We like get on a bus, and it was like there was a guy in a Team USA
was just
jacket.
sitting there like this.
He looked like hell. And we're like, hey buddy, we're from America, blah, 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 blah. He's like, yeah, but we find out that he was the TM for the ski and snowboard team. And it was the year that Shaun White had won like 5 or 6 awards.
His debut, I think.
And it was like all these golds, and he was supposed to be on a plane to get back to do the Jay Leno show in like 10 hours, and no one knew where this
find
guy
him.
was. And his parents didn't know, his teammates didn't know, and this was the guy who was in charge, so he was just a wreck trying to find him. And it was the same year that Bodie Miller showed up just on a bender. And all the playmates, and like he was just like, oh my God, so he was managing both of that. So he was like, do you guys want any tickets or anything? We're like, sure. So he ends up giving us tickets to the mogul contest. And we go to that, and I remember it was like we were sitting with the families, It was like we are literally in the family section, and what was the guy's name? Toby something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Toby.
I can't remember. One of the guys, he got silver, and we were sitting right with his parents. So we were literally just like hugging it out with his mom, celebrating.
Well,
It's
I
like,
remember it was like the first time the skiers were going inverted
Oh, yeah.
off the jump, and then the judges didn't even know how to judge
Judge it.
this.
Yeah.
It was totally unconventional.
Ready?
For the mogul skiing.
Yeah, the announcer was hilarious. Oh my God. So yeah, we got to
trip.
that, and then I remember we went to the party afterwards too, and like just the ski and snowboard party, and Johnny Mosley was there, I remember, and we just tatted his whole back up with Icelantic stickers through the night. It's like, hey Johnny, just like he had like 7 Icelantic stickers on his back during the whole party at the Olympics.
Totally.
Thanks, Johnny. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that was a heck of a trip, to say the least. And really just the launch of it all.
Yeah.
Little did we know what was still to come.